Sierra, Oscar, Delta, Able, November, Golf, Echo, Romeo. Charlie, Romeo, Echo, Echo, Papa, Yankee, Victor, Oscar, India, Charlie, Echo, Mike, Able, India, Lima, 2, 0, 1, 8.
Hey fans, NoobieCoders here. You may find this hard to believe, but I actually started this application months before the creepy voicemail event occurred last month. While this is still fresh in the minds of thousands of people, I decided to dust off my app, work out a few bugs, and present to you how relatively easy this can be to learn to produce authentic NATO alphabet sounds. While not in vogue as it would be during wartime, it is, however, used by military police and law enforcement to this very day. But I just think it sounds pretty cool listening to it. But where to begin to translate letters into spoken speech, right? Well guys, I found an interesting Google Drive app called Text-to-Speech, utilizing voice synthesis to make it all happen. Simply load this app up with words you want to hear, pick a male-female voice, and a country you want to hear it in. For instance, I chose female US, although the UK voice sounded kind of sexy too. Depending on how sophisticated you make this app, depends on how many words you'll want it to output. As you may discern, I have quite a few for this solution, all the letters, numbers, and some key grammar characters. If you like this app, you may wish to expand it by adding additional characters per your wishes later. To help you along, you better become familiar with ASCII codes. ASCII stands for the American Standard Code for Information Interchange, and is heavily employed throughout the programming community as it uses 7-bit binary numbers to define characters that people read throughout the world. In essence, you really should become familiar with these, my newbie coder friends. Because this Google app is proprietary, I won't divulge how to save these sound bites for you, and leave that artful process solely to your own imagination. Note, whatever sound format you choose, you'll need to convert it into WAV format, per the requirements of this app. This is where WordPad comes in handy. 1. Simply open your large NATO word collection. 2. Create a new document. 3. Cut out and paste each word into your new file. 4. Trim any blank leading or trailing space away. And 5. Save your file in lowercase pertinent to the names required in your NATO vocabulary. As usual, we start with a blank form. I rename mine Creepy Broadcaster. Immediately you want to resize this to 1000 wide. Alright, you know how to do that. You come over here, 1000 wide, 700 high. And change its back color right here to sienna. There it is. Okay, the reason I picked sienna is because I thought it'd keep in accordance with the military camouflage theme, which are a lot of different kind of browns and tans and stuff like that. So, we're going to need a few goodies now. Typical stuff. We'll start out with a button. Label. List box. And a text box. Okay, there's actually going to be multiples of all these, but we'll get to that in a second. Okay, so this is going to be like our input box. Now with text box, we want a multi-line. You know, nobody's just going to write 5 words. So we got this highlighted. Come down here, look for multi-line. Bang, there it is. Default's off because it's false. Let's put that baby on. Stay true. That's enough for that. Okay, so we're gonna want 2 list boxes. This is going to be our character box. Control C, Control V. We clone it. We're going to put that over here. I'm not sure how wide it is. That's got to be pretty close. I'll show you in a minute what's going on. Now, a lot of people wonder why I only do one of everything. It's because I like to copy them, guys. It's so much easier. Just listen to somebody that does this all the time. Make one, copy the rest. Okay, let's start customizing things a little bit. Just to give you a quick rundown of this. A refresher course, you might say. So on labels, they're really boring, aren't they? That's just how they come sort of out of the box. I'm going to change the font right away. Roboto, that's my favorite. I think that looks crisp, easy to read. Black 14. Let's see what we got here. Of course, we don't want labels to name. I mean, on the text, excuse me. This is going to be inbox. This will be our inbox. Also, by the way, that's the text, right? You want to give it a name. Now, some people go label inbox or inbox label. I usually make one part of it capitalized, another part lowercase. You know what I mean? Upper and lowercase. A lot of this stuff's arbitrary, but whatever you do, stick to the same format. You'll avoid a lot of misery later on. Notice it's the same color. For life, man, I don't know why a label starts out as the back color. It should always default to white or something, but that's just something you have to get used to, guys. I believe I was using Navajo white. There it is. Kind of strange looking color. There it is. Now I'm going to use that for all my buttons. That'll be my inbox. Going to clone it, put it up here. It's going to be my ASCII. And of course, that's going to be an ASCII label. I'm sorry, I got that out of order. That's what I like about this stuff. Doesn't really matter, does it? There's so many advantages of work with one button and just copying them over. And then, of course, we could call that the outbox, but actually, technically, all 3 of these are outboxes. So this is going to be our sound bite, all right? Our sound bite. This is actually where our sound, the name of our sound is going to be stored. Okay, and then lastly, I want to show you what a button looks like. This button will be our test button just for now. I mean, this will be the test button, and then it'll be test. The text will be test. Why they didn't put them closer together? The engineers didn't put them close together. I have no idea. I really find that annoying as hell that they put them so far apart. Just, again, grin and bear it because you're going to be doing a lot of these. Black colored, again, Navajo white. And now for the font, we're going to do something a little cooler. Okay, I don't know if you have this font. If you don't, go get it. Stencil. Let's just do regular. It shows up really good. We could go 16. And there it is. See how the stencil effect looks? I think it looks like something you see on an ammo box. Again, keeping in accordance with the military theme throughout. This is all arbitrary. You don't have to do any of this stuff. It's all up to you guys. Okay, so through the magic of editing, I'm going to just zip over here and show you what the finished product will look like. Ta-da! Actually, I had this form done ahead of time. These will be all the buttons we're going to be using. We're going to do a test in the beginning so you can have a quick rundown of how this works. This will be actually the play routine, which I'll show you all these again. This will reset every value we have, all the inbox, all three of the output boxes, and all the variables associated with those. And have a little surprise for the record later, and then the about and the quit buttons. One of the first things I ever do when I'm making a solution is make a quit button. I don't want my program to keep running and running, and I find it annoying having to go up here, look for that little orange button to stop it when it's running. Just make a quit button, almost the first thing you do, guys. Save you a lot of grief.